Hello guys, welcome once again. In this video, I'm going to show you what is function overloading and how we can use function overloading and what is the logic of using function overloading. So I will take an example which I have already used in our earlier uh, programs. So I will make a function to add two numbers. So I'm not going to return anything and I will make a function and this will add two numbers. So I will give int first number and int second number. Okay, and I want to print the sum of these two numbers, so I will say cout sum of integers is equal to, and then I will add these two numbers, first number plus this second number. Okay, and then I will just give an end line and that's it. So what I want is I want to add two numbers. That's easy. What I will do is I will just call this function sum, and then I can add two numbers like this, 235 and 675 for example, and it will add these two numbers and show the result here, right? So when I compile this program and run this program, it will work fine as we have expected. Okay, like this. But what happens when you want to add two decimal numbers? So what are decimal numbers or what are float numbers? Decimal numbers are 265.756 and 265 point something, like this. So what happens if you want to add decimal points and you want to add integers also and different kind of numbers? And when you compile this program, it will be compiled fine, but when you run the program, it will only show you the integer values and not the decimal value. And this result is wrong because we wanted to add two float values and show the result as a float value. So now the concept of function overloading comes. So according to function overloading, you can declare a same function with a same name two times or more than two times with different arguments or different return type. So for example, this function is adding two integer. I can just copy this function and paste it just below it to add two float. So I just change the declaration here, float and float. Okay, and now when I run the program, I will compile it. It's showing the error because now the program doesn't know which function you are using. Is it initialized by this integer or is it initialized by the float value? So what you can do is you can declare two float variables. So I will declare float a is equal to and float b is equal to colon, and I will just pass these two values here. A is equal to 265.75 and b is equal to 675.76, and I will pass a and b as an argument. So now we have implicitly specified that this a and b is a float value. So then your program knows that okay, I have been there are two parameters which are float inside my which are passed as a parameter in me. So I will go to this function and see which parameter can take float, and you can see these parameter can take float. So then this program or this function will be executed, right? So I will say here float. The sum of float is this plus this. Now for example, once again I will declare to int x is equal to some integer and y is equal to some other integer, and once again I will call sum x comma y. So these two functions, this time the function which takes the integer will be executed, and when you use integers as a parameter, and when you use float as a parameter, this second function will be used. Okay, so now I will build my program and I will run it, and now you can see both result. First is the sum of float, that means we are in this function and it will show the result, and then the sum of integers, that means we are in this function. Sum of integers is equal to whatever the sum of these two integers here, right? So this is how you can use function overloading. You can declare a function with the same name more than two times or more than once, and you can pass different kind of parameter inside this function, or you can return different kind of parameter from this function. And whenever you pass float inside this, it will work as this function, and whenever you pass integers, it will know that you have passed integers, so it will use this function. So in this way you can declare multiple function with the same name to use them differently. So I hope you have understood the concept of function overloading, and I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please rate, comment and subscribe, and bye for now.